Hebrews, Hebrews, Hebrews. This is our Prophets of Awakening. This is our Men's Advanced Bible Study Night, 22nd of August, 2025. Okay, we'll be reading out of the book of Numbers, two chapters, 4 and 5. And then you can go to our YouTube channel, to Prophets of Awakening, check out our videos. We have over 1,000 or so videos that you can look at, examine, get the meat out. These videos lead you to the truth of the Holy Scriptures. And if you like what you're hearing and receiving, I'm asking you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It'll be greatly appreciated. And we have our Cash App on the bottom of the screen in case you want to support the channel to help it move along. Okay. This channel was created to aid and assist all Hebrews who are waking up in these last days to their true identity and also understanding who their Savior truly is. Shalom and welcome to the channel, and welcome to our Men's Advanced Bible Study. We're going to do our normal, which is a moment of silence, prayer, psalms, current events, some need to know information. Then we'll open up for a topic, we'll open up for some Q&A, comments, dialogue, any testimonies. Then we'll go into our topic for discussion, which we'll be talking about how Africa just recently shut down the skies over Africa and banned the U.S. and Europe out of, okay, and the ramifications of that. And then, like I said, we'll be reading out of the book of Numbers, chapters 4 and 5. Okay, we're going to read it and break it down. Then we'll pick a scripture as usual. We'll read that scripture, then we'll break it down, talk about it, then we'll close out. This moment of silence is for the Lord of hosts. And all that he's doing to bring about our prophesied deliverance in the last day. Lord, we come before thee, thanking you for your mercy and great power. And we appreciate you, O Lord, for your patience and guidance in these last days. Lord, we thank you for awakening us to this great understanding of your truth. Lord, we see your mighty hand in the world's affairs and how you are instructing your people's deliverance. And we trust and rely upon thee. And for this cause, we honor and respect you greatly. Turn not thy face from us at this time, but allow us in our searching of you, O Lord, to find you and to dwell with you. Peace be unto you. Okay, we're going to read Psalms.
Shalom, Brother Leonard. Shalom, everybody. Yes, sir. I'm going to read Psalms 34. Pray. It's called, in my Bible, a praise to the Lord. And it's a psalm of David when he changed his behavior before Abimelech, who drove him away, and he departed. Excuse me. And it says, "And I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. My soul shall make her boast in the Lord. The humble shall hear thereof and be glad. O magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. I sought the Lord, and he heard me and delivered me from all my fears. They looked upon him and were lightened, and their faces were not ashamed. This poor man cried, and the Lord heard him and saved him out of all his troubles. The angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him, and delivereth them. O taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man that trusteth in him. O fear the Lord, ye his saints, for there is no want to them that fear him. The young lions do lack and suffer hunger, but they that seek the Lord shall not want any good thing. Come, ye children, hearken unto me. I will teach you the fear of the Lord. What man is he that desireth life and loveth many days, that he may see good? Keep thy tongue from evil and thy lips from speaking gall. Depart from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. The eyes of the Lord are upon the righteous, and his ears are open unto their cry. The face of the Lord is against them that do evil, to cut off the remembrance of the righteous cry, and the Lord heareth and delivereth them out of all their troubles. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite heart. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him out of them all. He keepeth all his bones, not one of them is broken. Evil shall slay the wicked, and they that hate the righteous shall be desolate. The Lord redeemeth the soul of his servants, and none of them that trust in him shall be desolate. Shalom. That's Psalms 34.
Okay, you got feedback on that?
Brother Leonard, I had picked this one, sir, because of verse 7. And in verse 7, well, I'll read 6 and 7, where it says, the poor man cried, and the Lord heard him and saved him out of his troubles. The angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him, and delivereth them. So I mean, it says the angel of the Lord saves them that fear him. He said he delivereth them. Excuse me. So the angel of the Lord is a redeemer.
Right. Deliver.
Deliverer,
Right.
right?
See,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
exactly. See, like I said, this is long before they concocted JC. Israel already had a good savior. It says the same thing in Exodus when he delivered them out of Egypt. It says they came through the Red Sea, and the Lord of hosts delivered them. You know, these words, synonyms, is right there in our face, but because we've been brainwashed, we thinking we don't see them. They going by us subliminally. We ain't looking at it, reading it for what it says.
Right.
And like I said, with me, what happened with me was when all this stuff was revealed to me was that, like the verse you just quoted, you know, I don't forget that verse because I know that's something I can use to bring somebody else along. Yeah,
Right. Yes, sir.
because you got all these Christian apologists and all these nut buckets out there. So when you come across the scripture that's as plain as that one, you don't forget it.
Right. Because that one is clear, amongst a few other ones, but that one right there, the angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him, and delivereth them.
Exactly. Is that something?
Yes, sir. It's an angel.
Right,
Angel is the deliverer.
right. Point, point blank. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah. That was a good song right there to read. Okay. So we'll go to our current events, and like I've been saying, every chance I get from people, a lot of people don't understand it, but the our migration, it already started. Us leaving him, going, and the thing about it is, uh, most people are in the dark. They in darkness, and so they don't understand what's going on. But the European and the Edomite and those so-called Israelis, they understand. They know we leaving here in mass numbers. That's why we seeing all the stuff that's happening with the passport, what Trump doing, because they know they know, they see what's happening. And this video right here is an example of that.
Yeah, my God.
There is still a silent exodus taking place. Last year, a shipper told me she moved 42 families from the US to Ghana for the month of June. And then this is just one shipping company. And me too, I've run into people, a lot of people from in Kenya who I've met from all over the world, who are from the diaspora, who have moved here and settled there. Even in my comments, people are telling me, oh, I'm from so and so and I live here, Dan 13 Speed said, make sure you have consistent income either through retirement plan, pension plan, a gig, an investment, or business. Africa is beautiful and wonderful as long as you have money in your pocket. Surah 16:55 says, the overwhelming majority of retirees can easily afford to relocate to Africa. This is nonsense. You can live much better in Africa. You could buy a nice apartment for a fraction of what you can buy it for in America. In America, you could never afford that same kind of house that you live in Africa. Honestly, Ghana is very much more expensive than Kenya. You know what I'm saying? Even a simple Airbnb in Ghana is going to cost you a lot more than it costs you in Kenya. The move to Africa should always be a spiritual thing first. I'm saying, guys, a lot of the problems that we run into Africa is self-inflicted problems because we try to take shortcuts. Guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Drew Williams, and if you know anything about me, you would have known that I've spent 3 months in Nairobi, Kenya. Now, guys, in this video, we're talking about moving back to Africa, how a lot of people are living like dogs in the West, literally sometimes. Is it going to be worse living in Africa? I don't think so. You know, and I'm going to read some of the comments from some of my subscribers and viewers, and I'm going to tell you some of their point of views so you can judge for yourself, and just keep it respectful, guys. We're not trying to disrespect nobody. When I say people are moving to Africa, I don't only mean Americans alone. I mean Americans, Jamaicans, Canadians, British. I'm saying it's people from all over the diaspora, okay? So if you come to this channel, guys, keep it respectful. We don't want any beef. We just want like people giving their good input and see how we can help each other, right? I was speaking to some of my subscribers, right? You were talking about the move to Africa, right? And you were saying, why stay in the West and suffer? A lot of us are getting paycheck to paycheck, mental health issues, going through stress, family, racial profiling or whatever. Is it going to be that bad in Africa? I'm saying a lot of us in the West are living like dogs. Not literally like dogs. But you understand what I'm saying? I don't mean to be disrespectful. I'm just saying we're on a hamster wheel. It's going around. What's going to hurt in moving to Africa? And I think the best way to move to Africa is just to educate yourself and have the right mindset. It can be done, guys. So here is to live like the locals. Do your grocery shopping outside in the hot sun. Yeah. Your meat at the meat market in the hot sun, not the butchery in the air-conditioned mall. LOL. Anything in the supermarket or malls will cost you the same price as America almost. And that will defeat the purpose of living in Ghana. And that is true, guys. When I was in Kenya, buying fruits in the supermarkets are much more expensive than buying them on the streets. I'm saying. Yeah, so it depends on where you shop. If you're shopping where especially a lot of Westerners are shopping, it's going to be more expensive. So you just have to find some locals, you talk to them, they will tell you where to shop and buy things cheap. Even in Norway here, I find places, like there's Arab shops where I go to buy, scallion, tomatoes, a lot of things much cheaper than the big supermarket. I'm telling you, I pay even less than half the price. It's ridiculous, guys. So it's true. In every country, you can find a better way, a cheaper way how to live. Find another comment and maybe we call it a day. Another person, right? Shanika Smith. Sounds Jamaican. I'll go on, Shanika. Any American that moves to Africa will need a steady and stable income in order to move there. A lot of individuals a while back were talking about how individuals are living poor in Africa and in America. I think the guy is speaking the truth. Yes, it's a good idea to have a plan when moving to Africa. Yes.
Yeah, so like I said, it's a lot. I mean, when you go back, it says it scriptures and tells you that the Lord of hosts tells us he changed not. So we see how when they was in Babylon, it was Nebuchadnezzar came to Jerusalem 3 times, 3 different excursions, and then when they came back in waves. The first one was Zerubbabel and Jeshua. Then Nehemiah came, then Ezra came. But it wasn't just one big mass exodus. They the same way they was taken into captivity, they the same way they came back from captivity. They came back in waves. And when you understand that, we see that transpiring right now. It's thousands of people leaving here. even especially when they had already started before 2019, but it really picked up, elevated in 2019, and now they leaving there like flies. But the American government don't know what to do about it. That's what all this drama is about. Because like I said, the video I played the other day when the girl was saying how what are people going to do, what America's going to do when they look up and there's no blacks here. It's like making a gumbo with no seasoning in it. It's just bland. So we the seasoning. So for us to leave, yeah, this place is going to be bland, and they know that. You got anything on that, AJ?
Shalom, brother Leonard. I just agree with that. And looking at though too, one of the key things in understanding, I think that's Jeremiah 29, when he says he's gonna send us back the same way we came. And in our case, um being coming from West Africa, you know, and seeing like in 2011 they had the 1 year of the international decade, but they
Yeah,
had just 1 year of it in 2011. So then in 2014 to 2024 they had the decade, and so people been leaving ever since then, like you said, and then now people are leaving in waves too, and that does mirror Babylon.
exactly. And like I said, a lot of them they have some understanding of the scriptures, some understanding of who they are, but it's that spirit that Most High putting on them to leave here. You know what I'm saying? He's
Right?
going
Yes,
to keep
sir.
them time. Matter of fact, let me read that because, like I said, it's, which I'm big on that is that you got to read the scriptures for what it's saying, not what what was told to you, and you reading it in forethought. You know what I'm saying? It's like I was dealing with this guy, these brothers, and they was talking about Genesis 18, saying that there was two angels in God. That ain't what it say. The scripture says three men, which is three angels, came to Abraham. One of them was the Lord, but they because of what they've been told, they've been brainwashed. They believe that Yahweh, one of those men, is not Yahweh, and it ain't. It ain't that. When the angel comes and appear to anybody, he show himself as a man. Yahweh ain't, they ain't know what Yahweh do. That's what these angels do. They have the ability to show themselves as men. And any other thing they want to, but when they come to a prophet or man of God or whatever, they show themselves as a man. So three men came to Abraham. And that's three angels. One of them was the Lord, a host. Okay, anyway, we got sidebar. Let me see what I was talking about. Yeah. So yeah. So when, like I said, you assume that the scripture is saying one thing, but when actually it's what the intent is right there in our face, but we reading it with pre-thought, you know, with a pre-thought from like I said, who reads the book and start in the middle of it. You wake up, you at time you're born, coming to earth, coming to this world, and your parents are spiritual, whatever, they dealing with the church. If you're black and then you're in the Baptist church or whatever, you go to school, you go to the Baptist church, and then the first thing you start Bible study and all that, you get starting out in the New Testament. You ain't starting out in Genesis 1, start out in the New Testament, and then you just bouncing back and back here and there to the old, but you don't start reading the book in Genesis. You're introduced to the book in the middle of it. That's abominable. Okay,
Right.
huh?
Oh, I was saying right. Yes, sir.
Exactly. So that's how we introduce to our scriptures like that backwards. So like I said, everything we read, not even really understanding it, but if you read it pre-thought, you're not reading it pure for what it's saying, and then and absorbing what it's saying. You read it already assuming it's it's already saying one thing, but it ain't saying that. Like for example, another one when Moses came to the backside of the desert. He says he came to the mountain of God. Then when he got up there, it's an angel up there. Yahweh ain't nowhere in sight. So it's the mountain of God. Who the God is on this mountain? When Moses got up there, it's the angel of the Lord. Michael. Yahweh ain't up there. Okay. So it's all through the scriptures. But we don't see them. Well, when you start focusing on them, you'll start seeing them. But as long as you're not focusing on them, you're not gonna see them. Okay. So here we go. This is another prophecy that's transpiring, and a lot of people not seeing it. Said this: the collapse of white America has begun. So you say, what are you talking about? Well, I was showing you that the migration already started. Our regathering already started. Well, he used Babylon, the Chaldeans, to punish the Israelites, like he told David. Then once the Chaldeans did what he wanted them to do, then he punished the Chaldeans. He brought this beat the Persians. After that, he brought them down. Greece, same way. So he only following the ancient past. He used the Americans. They came and got us. The Edomites brought us over to America. America done what he wanted them to do, and now he's punishing them. That's what we're looking at. He ain't gonna do nothing else no different. And contrary to what you might think, he said he's gonna punish them after he finished with them. That's what he's gonna do.
Warn y'all. Oh my goodness. So what we are currently witnessing is Lyndon Johnson's quote manifested. And the quote going to, if you can make the poorest of the whites believe that they're superior than, the blacks, then you can go in their pockets. And that's precisely what is happening right now, because there was so much hatred during this last election. I wasn't privy to it. But now seeing the actions of people and what they thought was going to happen, I realized, oh, y'all really didn't like her because she was a black woman, all right? And then you saw the CIA agents who were saying, well, she's not black, she Indian. Well, look, she did the collard greens in the bathtub, okay? That's the trick bag, baby. And you start to see you start to see this full picture. And I'm like, wow, you had the CIA agents working hand in hand with the white elites. And now both groups, both tribes are being hurt. And it's sad to see. It really is sad to see, because I tried warning people. They thought that they were going to be attacking the black and the brown. That's what they were so giddy about. Oh, yes, let's get these mofos out of here and we'll get the country great again, okay? We'll make it white, because they want to be the majority demographic, because that's how they view it. They view it as a white country. And what they failed to understand is that the elites don't really care about them. That's what they miscalculated.
I couldn't have miscalculated.
They miscalculated by believing that Sean Hannity's of the world, the Laura Ingrams of the world, the Tucker Carlsons of the world, that they had their best interests at heart. All right. And what you are now witnessing is a destruction of the white society, I'll say. That's what we're witnessing. Because who it's impacting the hardest is white people. It's impacting the white community. They're the ones that are being attacked and being fired, are they not? We saw a whole bunch of people talking about, hey, I voted for Trump and now I'm losing my job. you had with Elon Musk and him running amok, with Doge, all these federal workers, right? Fired, gone. Now they got nowhere to go, right? Nowhere to go.
Ruined. Had nothing left.
Now you're starting to see when it comes to the tariffs. We tried warning people. I was like, listen, what they have in mind when it comes to Project 2025, his idiocy with the tariffs, he did tariffs before and they didn't work. We ended up having to pay reparations to the farmers because that's how bad it devastated the farmers. He did it again. Now this time, like I said, they're going for civil rights. They want to end that because they feel that there's no reason for that to exist. They feel that, hey, y'all black people had all these advantages over all these years, and now enough is enough. Now it's to equal the playing field in any type of system, any type of scholarship, any type of accolade, anything, bruh, any type of recommendation. That's racist. That's anti-white racism. Come on now, dog. They have now transformed themselves into the victim. They are now the victim class of this country. And because they view themselves as a victim class, well, everyone else is out to attack them. You hear how they talk. We saw Jillian Michaels. Well, you just can't blame white people for everything. What? What are you talking about? Nobody has ever blamed all white people for the actions of a few. But that's not what y'all done to black people. Y'all blamed all black people for the actions of a few. So I find it interesting that now y'all are, crying victim. And now what's happening is that you're suffering when it comes to the tariffs. Because what you have to understand, there are a vast majority of white people that aren't making six figures. They're not elite, right? They're not, living in mansions. They're living in trailer parks. That's what it's going to be. And the funny part is they wanted to say, oh, just get American. We come to find out that's not working.
All right. For those of you that say buy American made equipment, the tariffs won't affect you. This is American made heat treating furnaces. July 17th, 2024, base price $519. July 23rd, 2025, base price $612. The thermocouple interface upgrade, $14,900, $16,700. The loader, $10,200. The loader, $11,400. Two 1,000-gallon tanks, gas backup reservoirs, $39,400, $44,300.
I genuinely believe they don't want a middle class. I think they want the middle class to be shoved into the poor of the poorest, okay? They want poor and elite rich. That's what it seems based off of his policies, based off of his cabinet, based off of how they talk and what they are implementing. That's what it seems that they want, all right? And they want black people. They want them to go back to the fields, all right? That's what they want. So it's wild. And it's unfortunate that we're seeing this. It's unfortunate that many white Americans are suffering. But if y'all had listened to the people who were trying to tell you that this was going to happen, you wouldn't be in this predicament. If all the white people who voted for Kamala had gotten at least 3 other white people to vote for Kamala, we wouldn't be in this predicament. I don't know what to tell you. You guys voted for this, and you guys are the ones that are suffering.
Okay, and it's prophesied. You got anything on that, AJ?
Shalom, when Brother Leonard, when he said playing victim, that the Gentiles play victim, that made me think about like France and Haiti, like how Haiti won the war, but they paid pretty much reparations to France.
Exactly.
It's like so it's like they playing the victim because y'all won, y'all killed us, so we owe compensation.
Exactly. And they've been punishing Haiti ever since.
Right, yes, sir, ever since.
Exactly. Ain't that something?
Right, and then, brother Leonard, another thing too, when you talking about like the regular working Gentiles, they they think they're like Edomites, so like when you talking about they voted for Trump, and because it's like the rich want to help the rich get richer. Well, the average Gentile, the average white person is not rich. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
them go in that direction doesn't help them anyway, and they don't understand that. So it's just like, thinking they got the complexion for protection.
Exactly right. Yeah, and that's been removed.
Right,
Yeah.
yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
And yeah. Yeah. So before I got sidebarred earlier, I was going to Isaiah 60. I was going to read the first six chapter verses, and it's just another one of those examples of reading the scriptures and then reading it for what it say, in its purest form, not reading it with forethought. So it says in chapter 60, and this is big because what we see happening now in Africa with they got this pan African uh, revolution going on, because that's what it is. These boule behind it, well, they got the powers that be got the boule, and they winding all this up. You know what I'm saying? But so anyway, they're always saying why we can't come together, why we can't come together. Well, because it's part of the curses. When you go read the curses, you see why we not coming together. It's because of what happened. But if we turn our back on our God, on our Creator, So it says right here, chapter. But like I said, he operates this on the time. Moabs, he got prophecies that he got, and it's not going to happen until what he spoke and come to pass at the time he said it's going to come to pass. So right here, this is a prophecy, but a lot of people don't know it. Chapter 60 of Isaiah says, if this the future glory of Zion, that's us. Arise, shine, thy light has come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon you. We already seeing that right now. For behold, darkness shall cover. Check it out. Darkness shall cover the whole earth. Gross darkness, the people. So most of them gonna be thrown. But the Lord shall arise upon thee, right? And his glory shall be seen upon thee. And the Gentiles shall come to thy light, the kings to the brightness of thy rising. Then it says, 4, lift up thine eyes round about and see. Lift up thine eyes round about and see. All they that gather themselves together, they come to thee. Thy sons shall come from afar. Check it out. Thy sons shall come from afar. From over here. This is where we at. We at a far right now. We're gonna leave here. Thy sons shall come from afar, and thy daughters shall be nursed upon thy side. Then, here we go. We always hear these Negroes hollering about why we can't come together, why we can't get along. 5, then thou shalt see and flow together. See that? After we leave here. This a prison over here. This a punishment. We ain't gonna come together over here. He says in verse 5, then thou shalt see and flow together, and thine heart shall fear and be enlarged, because of the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee. And then, like I said before, one of the things I was listening to this brother, and he's talking about how, which is major, is big, how that sheep, those animals I told you about in Genesis chapter 2, that he said Adam needed to help me. And then he formed these animals out of the ground, which are the animals, clean animals, and animals that is being used in the temple. Those animals wasn't over here. Those animals connected to us. They was brought over here, like the guy said. The Portuguese, Esau, and those conquistadors, they brought those animals wasn't over here. They was over there where we was at. They was connected to us by the hill. They brought those animals over here. And you see them over here now thinking that they was always here. No, they were brought here. When you go back and find out what really went down. So verse 6 says, the multitude of camels, these are animals, the multitude of camels shall cover thee. The drummer of Midian shall, and ephah, all they from Sheba shall come and shall bring gold and incense. All this stuff is over there where we was at. And they shall bring gold and incense, and they shall show forth the praises of the Lord. All the flocks, see that? All the flocks of Kedar shall be gathered together unto thee. See that? The rams of Nebat shall minister unto thee. They shall come up with acceptance upon mine altar, and I will glorify the house of my glory. So let's break that last verse down. Cain and Abel, when they got of age 12 years old, they went to make a sacrifice. Cain didn't brought the worst of his fruit, and the Most High rejected it, right? But he accepted Abel's. So let's read this again. All the flocks of Kedar shall be gathered together unto thee. The rams of Nebat shall minister unto thee. See that? They're gonna minister to us, to the Israelite, not the Chinese or the Chaldean or the Hawaiian or the Mexican, but to us, because they was made, they connected to us. So it says, all the flocks of Kedar shall be gathered together unto thee. The rams of Nebat shall minister unto thee. They shall come up upon with acceptance. See that? With acceptance. See that? On mine altar. He ain't necessarily got accepted. We know he ain't accept Cain's offering. But see, when this happened right here, these rams and these clean animals that he formed and made for sacrifice, gonna come up on the altar and he's gonna accept it. Okay. Got any feedback on that?
Shalom, but that verse right there, verse 7, that you had just read, and I read this before with you, but it's like it just hit me though, because like this a prophecy in the future,
right? Exactly.
Right. So
sacrifice after we go
back, right?
After we leave here is when we're gonna come. We're gonna come together. We ain't gonna come together. As long as we over here, we under the curses. That's why you got all these niggas hollering about the curses over with. How they over with? We still over here.
Right.
Curses ain't over when we leave here. When the curse is over with, and when we leave here, we leave that trifling attitude and not coming together. All that goes away, disappears. Because the curse is over with. Like we see, as we speaking now, we see all these things being transferred, like the Lord of hosts said, onto our enemies. We see them now. They trifling. They come with all this drama and everything that was on us is we see it being passed to them. And like I said, we leaving because we in the process of this captivity is over with. We leaving, and not only that, we starting to operate with some sense, get along, act human. Not all of them. I was talking earlier about when you go back to the story with Ezra, and when they was in captivity in Babylon, you had Israelites in captivity back in Jerusalem that they had as prisoners. They had tricked them, just like they're doing now with us, with usury, with these payday loans and all that, bound up with all this debt, couldn't pay them back. And so that was the purpose that the Lord of hosts had Cyrus come out with the treasure of Mithras and give all this unbeknownst amount of gold and silver and jewels to Sheshbazzar, which was Zerubbabel. He used that money when he got back to Jerusalem. He paid off all of their debts. That's why they sent the letter, because they was pissed off because they wanted to keep those Israelites bound up, they was royals. They had them bound up like slaves, like they're doing us. So he gave them all that gold. They came to Jerusalem and they had a truckload of gold. They told him whatever amount he said they owed, they had the gold right there. And they redeemed them. Okay? Is that something?
Right, yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, so that's how that works. So with that being said, I'm gonna go to my need to know information. I'm trying to find it. Let me see. Need to know. This right here is part of what I just read. Let's look at it. Okay, I'm in the wrong place. Yeah. He says, what I just read says, rise and shine, for thy light is come, right? Here it is right here.
Explosive economic story of our time, a story that will rewrite history and shock the world. Because here's what we do know. In just 27 years, by 2050, Africa will have more young people than the rest of the world combined. This is the largest youth population bulge in history, a demographic dividend that could push Africa's economy to the moon. It is an economic boom unlike anything the world has ever seen before. But how does this African youth population...
Okay, I got a question. So did the Lord of Hosts tell Cain to be fruitful and multiply? Do you see that anywhere in the scripture?
Wow, no sir.
Okay. Notice what they just said. In Africa, where all the kids gonna be born and population explode. He didn't tell Cain that. He didn't tell the Canaanites to be fruitful and multiply. That's that front man.
Population explosion transformed the global economy. And why does it matter to you? Are you ready to uncover the secrets of Africa's economic miracle? If so, then join us on this journey to discover the untapped potential of Africa. From 2025, a quiet revolution began. Across the continent, leaders are breaking chains, rejecting exploitation, and building a new Africa, not for outsiders, but for its own people. For decades, the world has been told that Africa is poor, dependent, and broken. But we all know that Africa is neither poor nor broken. Its people are rich in talent, culture, and potential. What Africa needs are leaders who can unlock that potential and build an Africa that works for Africans. And guess what? Those leaders are here. They might be young, they might be old, but they all share one thing in common: a burning desire to see Africa rise again. Meet Yoweri Museveni, Paul Kagame, Abiy Ahmed, Bola Tinubu, Cyril Ramaphosa, and Uhuru Kenyatta. These leaders are more than just politicians. They are visionaries, strategists, and transformers. They are the architects of a new Africa. One leader who has stood out is Uganda's Yoweri Museveni, often called the conqueror of the bush. When he took power, Uganda was a war-torn nation with a shattered economy. But Museveni had a different vision. He stabilized the country, ended the brutal regime of Idi Amin, and laid the foundation for peace and prosperity. Under his leadership, Uganda has become one of the fastest growing economies in Africa with double-digit growth rates. In fact, in 2022, Uganda achieved 6% growth despite global economic turmoil. Rwanda's Paul Kagame is another shining example. After the horrific genocide, Rwanda was a country in ruins. But Kagame didn't let the tragedy define his nation. Instead, he set his sights on rebuilding Rwanda into an economic powerhouse. Today, Rwanda is known as the land of 1,000 hills because of its stunning natural beauty and business-friendly environment. Investors flock to Rwanda because of its political stability and focus on technology and innovation. Ethiopia's Abiy Ahmed is also transforming his country through industrialization. Ethiopia is becoming a major manufacturing hub with a growing automotive industry. And then we have Bola Tinubu, the charismatic leader of Nigeria, Africa's most populous nation. New opportunities for businesses and investors from all over the world. So are you ready to take advantage of this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity? But here's the ultimate question. Why does it matter to you? Why should you care about Africa's economic rise? And how will it affect your life? Well, here's the thing. Africa's economic growth will create new markets for businesses around the world, including yours. Imagine a world where your products and services are in high demand by millions of African consumers. It's not a fantasy. It's a reality that is within reach. But that's not all. As Africa develops, it will need more goods and services from all over the world, from technology and healthcare to education.
So, like I was saying before, if you're looking at this through the right lenses, thinking like a Hebrew, who else could possibly be doing this? With all the bullshit they've done over the last 2,500 years to keep this from happening, who you think doing it? It ain't JC. It's the same thing happened when you read in Ezra. Wasn't no light in the tunnel. Then all of a sudden, Cyrus come on the scene. Darius and Cyrus come on the scene, and the whole game changed. Who brought them? Lord of hosts doing the same thing now. Ain't nothing new under the sun. The New Testament, JC and Paul, church fathers, founding fathers of the New Testament, they ain't got shit to do with this. Okay? Any comments on that?
Shalom, brother Leonard. When you say, I never thought of that. It doesn't say anywhere for Cain to be fruitful, and that makes total sense. Could you explain maybe someone who might say, well, what does he mean by he's gonna enlarge Japhet then? What's meant by that?
Well, what that means is that through trickery and trickeration, Japhet is going to be in the tents of Shem, and because of that, he's going to be fruitful and multiply. He's hiding. He's posing as Shem. He's in the tents of Shem. Ain't that where he is right now?
Right now.
Exactly. And if you go back in history, and if you look at history, they show you through all kind of movies. Like I said, one of them is 300. They was having these defective babies. They was throwing them over the Spartans. They only kept the good ones. They didn't know what they were gonna get. But when they got a decent one, they kept him. But all of the defective ones, they had a cliff. They throwing them over. Down the whole valley was full of babies, defective babies. So he definitely ain't telling them to be fruitful and multiply.
Definitely.
Okay. So hiding under the banner of the Most High's people, that's what Japhet is at now. He's in the tents of Shem, posing as the Israelite. And up until recently, he been protected by that, but he ain't, the Most High exposed him and bringing him out in the open.
Right, judgment coming.
Right, which prophesied. Ain't nothing happening that the Lord of hosts hasn't spoken. Like I said, we just ain't reading it right because we caught up with what these Gentiles gave us and how they didn't hook with our scriptures. Yeah. So let me read this right quick. Well, I was kind of talking about this a little bit last night, and so when you read this book, you got to understand what these people have done. They don't have no respect for the Most High word or what our forefathers, the prophets, wrote down. So I'm in Psalms 89 right quick. This is just an example. Psalms 89. And so if they did this to David, you know damn well they did it to Michael. Okay? So I'm in Psalms 89. And it says, like I said, it's been here. When they printed out the 1611 King James Bible, was in there. It's been there all along. We just ain't reading it because we thinking like Gentiles. So it says, this David. David is the Messiah. So let me read it. I'm gonna read it. You got time? I'll read Psalms 89. It says, I will sing of the mercies of the Lord forever. It's David talking, the Messiah of Israel. And it's a difference. There's a difference in the Messiah and the Savior. But these people then combine the two. That's how they blew JC up. The Savior is one being, one entity, and the Messiah is another entity. And the Creator is another entity. So they played all these titles on JC. But Messiah is one being, is one entity, and the Savior is another one. So it says, I will sing of the mercies of the Lord forever. It's David talking. With my mouth will I make known thy faithfulness to all generations. I have said, mercy shall be built up forever. Thy faithfulness shall thou establish in the very heavens. I have made a covenant with my go right here. We're reading right over this. I have made a covenant with my chosen. I have sworn unto David, my servant. Now, they don't say, he ain't saying David, but he means Jesus. That's what these nut buckets saying. But the Yahweh saying right here, I have made a covenant with my chosen. I have sworn unto David, my servant. It ain't like it's not a David in the scriptures. It's a David in the scriptures. Who are we talking about? The David in the scriptures. You can't put Jesus there. So this is the chosen right here, David. Verse 4. Thy seed, talking to David, I will establish forever and build up thy throne to all generations. Selah. And the heavens shall praise thy wonders, O Lord, thy faithfulness also in the congregation of the saints. For who in the heavens can be compared unto the Lord? Who among the sons of the mighty can be likened unto the Lord? So now let's break this down right here, because this right here is big. Verse 6, for who in the heavens can be compared unto the Lord, right? So you're going to say, well, Yahweh up in heaven, who is it? Who can be compared to the Lord? Yahweh in heaven. So he got to be talking about Yahweh. Well, you keep reading proper English. Who among the sons, the elves, see that? Who among the elves, the sons of the mighty, can be likened unto the Lord? See that? He a el. Ain't no other el like him. Yahweh not in this story, in this verse. Okay. Then 7. God is greatly to be feared in the assembly of the saints, and to be had in reference of all them that are about him. O Lord God of hosts, who is a strong Lord, likened unto thee. So there you go again. Strong. El. That's what El means. Strong one. Yahweh ain't a strong one. So it says, verse 8, the Lord God of the hosts, who is a strong Lord, likened unto thee, or to thy faithfulness round about thee. Thou rulest the ragings of the sea, and when the waves thereof arise, thou stillest them. This is where they get JC from, on the Galilee. 10, thou hast broken Rahab in pieces, as one that is slain. Thou hast scattered thy enemies with a strong arm. The heavens are thine. The earth also is thine. As for the world and the fullness thereof, thou hast founded them. The north and the south, thou hast created them. Tabor and Hermon shall rejoice in thy name. So right here, like I said, this is, if you want some meat, here it is right here in this psalm right here. So there go Hermon right there. Well, they got a book of Enoch, and he tells you 200 angels came out of Mount Hermon. So how in the hell you gonna say the book of Enoch ain't legitimate? They go Mount Hermon right here. It ain't like it ain't in the scriptures. Anyway, 13, thou hast a mighty arm, strong is thy hand, and high is thy right hand. Justice and judgment are thy habitation of thy throne. Mercy and truth shall go before thy face. Blessed is the people that know the joyful sound. They shall walk, O Lord, in the light of thy countenance. So this is the Lord of hosts. So notice what it says. Blessed is the people that know the joyful sound. They shall walk, O Lord, in the light of thy countenance. See that? So you got to know who he is in order to walk in the light of his countenance. 16, in thy name shall they rejoice all the day. Not in JC name, not in Yahweh name. In thy name shall they rejoice all day, and in thy righteousness shall they be exalted. For thou art the glory of their strength. In thy favor, our horn. shall be exalted. So who is their horn? David. David is their horn, not Yahushua. 18, for the Lord is our defense. See that? The Lord is our defense. The Lord of hosts. Now here you go again, like I was saying before, understanding what these words mean. For the Lord is our defense, and the Holy One of Israel is our king. What Holy One? Enoch tell us. Yahweh created 7 holy angels, holy ones. Yahweh ain't no holy one. He created 7 holy ones. And right here, it's telling you one of them holy ones is over Israel. 19. Then thou spakest in a vision to the Holy One and said, I have laid up upon one that is mighty. I have exalted one chosen out of the people. I have found David. See that? Not Yahushua. I found David, my servant. With my holy oil have I anointed him. So where is this at in the scripture? 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 1. 2. The enemy shall not exact upon him. See that? Here we go right here. The enemy shall not exact upon him, nor the sons of wickedness afflict him. And I will beat down, here you go. I will beat down his foes before his face, and I will plague them that hate him. So this is the opposite. He's not going to deliver them. He's not going to deliver his chosen one that he got into the hands of the Romans and let them beat the hell out of him. He says right here, the enemy shall not exact upon him, nor the sons of wickedness. That's the Romans, right? Sons of wickedness afflict him. It's total opposite. 23, I will beat down their foes before their faces and plague them that hate him. But my faithfulness and my mercy shall be with him, David. In my name shall his horn, there go the horn right here. David is the horn. In my name shall his horn be exalted. I will set his hand, also here you go. I will set his hand also in the sea and his right hand in the rivers. Not Yahushua. He shall cry unto me, thou art my father. We saw that play out right on big screen TV in the cinema with the Passion of the Christ. Thou art my father, my God, the rock of my salvation. Also, I will make him my firstborn. You're going to make David his firstborn. Higher than the kings of the earth. My mercy will I keep for him forevermore, and my covenant shall stand fast with him. His seed also will I make to endure forever, and his throne as the days of heaven. If his children forsake my law and walk not in my judgment, if they break my statutes and keep not my commandments, then will I visit their transgression with the rod and their iniquity with stripes. They go your rods and the rod and the stripes right here. They done took it over there and flipped it and put it on JC, got him getting beat down. But here go the rod and the stripes right here. This is where they come from. 32. Then will I visit their transgression with the rod and their iniquity with stripes. They go to stripes. 33. Nevertheless, my loving kindness will I not utterly take from him, nor suffer my faithfulness to fail. My covenant will I not break, nor alter the thing that has gone out of my lips. Once have I sworn by my holiness that I will not lie unto David. See that? Not JC. His seed shall endure forever, and his throne as the sun before me. It shall be established forever as the moon. Check it out. It shall be established forever as the moon and as a faithful witness in heaven. Selah. But now here you go. This is what I was telling you about. If they did this to David, what you think they did to the Lord of hosts? So it says right here, thou hast made void the covenant of thy servant. Thou hast profaned his crown by casting it down to the ground. Thou hast broken down all his edges, and thou hast brought his stronghold to ruin. All that pass by the way spoil him. He is a reproach to his neighbors. And here we are, most of us, we 40, 50, 60 years old. They done all this shit before we even come on the scene. When we come on the scene, they done already tormented and tore down and tore his crowns up, throw Michael off and kicked him off of the chessboard and all that. Okay, so it says, all that pass by the way spoil him. He is a reproach to his neighbors. They done made him a reproach. He ain't a reproach to the neighbors. They done made him a reproach to the neighbors. 42. Thou hast set up the right hand of the adversary. Thou hast made all his enemies to rejoice. Who was that? JC, the New Testament. That's why he got red hair. You Edomite, the adversary. They set the adversary up and cast David's throne down to the ground. How? Going here into with the scriptures, saying that that's David right here. I mean that this Jesus right here, this Jesus over here when the whole time is David, or this is Raphael over here, or Simeon over there. The whole time it's the Lord of hosts is there. Okay, because they don't want you to know who he is in his role. They don't want you to see him in his role. So anyway, 43. Thou hast also turned the edge of the sword. Thou hast not made him to stand in battle. Thou hast made his glory to cease. Thou hast made his glory to cease. Cast his throne down to the ground. This is David. The days of his youth hast thou shortened. Thou hast covered him with shame. They covered him with shame. See that? How long, Lord, wilt thou hide thyself forever? Shall thy wrath burn like fire? Remember how short my time is, wherefore hast thou made all men in vain? What man is he that liveth and shall not see death? Shall he deliver his soul from the hands of the grave? So you got to let this ferment right here. This humongous. 48. What man is that liveth and shall not see death? Shall he deliver his soul from the hands of the grave? Go to the tomb. When Mary and them got there, the tomb was all the thing was rolled back. JC wasn't in there. So look what the Hebrew, the Israelites say, right? The man of God. What man is he that liveth and shall see death? Shall he deliver his soul from the hands of the grave? Hell no, he can't. Lord, where are thy father loving kindness, which thou swore unto David? See that? In thy truth, remember, Lord, the reproach of thy servant, how I do bear the bosom in my bosom, the reproach of all the mighty people, wherewith thine enemies have reproached. O Lord, wherewith have they have reproached the footstool of thy anointing. That's him. Blessed be the Lord forevermore. So I'm going to, in closing on this little story right here, verse 50 says, Lord, remember, Lord, the reproach of thy servant, how I did bear in my bosom the reproach of the mighty people. And so the average person gonna read all over that. So who are the mighty people? Negroes say it ain't no giants. So who are these mighty people? Giants. That's why David couldn't build a temple, because he was slaying giants. David said, I bear it in my bosom. I'm the one who was killing the giants. That's why he couldn't build a temple. So let's look at that right quick. Another precept, right quick. So I'm in Genesis chapter 6. Like I said, these Negroes say, ain't no giants. Imagine that. So anyway, I'm in Genesis chapter 6. You go to giants right here, but they say it ain't no giants. It says, Genesis chapter 6, and it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God, strong one, Els, right, saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. Now here you go. And the Lord said, the Lord, Michael, said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. Now here you go, verse 4. There were giants in the earth. See that? There were giants in the earth in those days. Now here you go. And also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, say, and then what? And they bore children unto them, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of not renown. So you gotta know how to deal with these words. They ain't just popping up out the blue somewhere. You gotta track them back, go back and track them. And then you can't be deceived or hoodwinked. Okay, you got anything on that, AJ?
No, sir. That was clear, brother Leonard. Shalom.
Yeah. So with that being said, that was dealing with my need to know. Like I said, we looking at what the Most High said. We see, and when Africa rises, that means we gonna rise. He's using Africa to raise us, to bring us back. That's what that's all about. Okay. So another thing I talked about, I don't know if anybody paying attention to it, so maybe you will after this, but you notice and all this that's going on, all this chaos that's all over the place, especially in Africa, that word I told you, Addis Ababa, that city in Ethiopia, keep coming up. Addis Ababa, everything, it's always Addis Ababa this, Addis Ababa that. Well, check this out. And like I said, this is what we're looking at with Abraham Torah is Pan-Africanism. We don't see that word nowhere in the Old Testament with our forefathers. Check it out. Here we go.
Democratic Republic of Congo is independent. Tanzania is independent. Kenya is independent. Uganda is independent. Later in the 1960s, of course, Zambia.
1960s. This ain't just started.
The Nyasaland, the split between Malawi and Zambia comes, and we see that wave of independence. The remnants at that time remain the Portuguese colonies, Angola, Mozambique, Cabo Verde, Guinea-Bissau, and of course, the territories which had been ceded to South African Union, that is South Africa itself and Southwestern Africa, which we now know as Namibia, remain under the control of the apartheid regime. The apartheid regime in its institutionalized form is created in 1948 by the Nationalist Party of Hendrik Verwoerd. So you can see that there is the way.
So notice that 1948, it's the same time the Edomites came back and fooled the whole world in 1948 that was the regathering of the children of Israel. Same year.
And the wave is particularly evident in the 1960s. Ultimately, of course, the Portuguese are unique in this regard because Portugal itself is in trouble, is under dictatorship. And in the government of Marcelo Caetano in Portugal, until it is overthrown in 1974, I think, by the army of an individual called Antonio de Spinola, that you now begin to see them leaving their former colonies to gain independence, with Angola gaining independence, then of course
we're going somewhere.
Mozambique, Guinea-Bissau, and Cabo Verde. That is the space in which Africa finds herself in terms of regaining what now I call flag independence and pepper independence in certain cases, because we now know better that immediately that the colonial project has ended, another project is introduced, the neo-colonial project. And Kwame Nkrumah writes a book about it. He talks about neo-colonialism, the last stage of imperialism, and he calls it the most dangerous stage. When I'm talking about the fate of the post-colonial African state, I always remember what happened in Addis Ababa in 1963.
1963.
And I always remember the speeches, particularly of Kwame Nkrumah, Haile Selassie, and Julius Kambarage Nyerere and
Pan-Africanism.
Gamal Abdel Nasser. Nkrumah is so passionate because he can telegraph into the future, and he tells his audience, let us not leave here to mean Addis Ababa, before we agree to cede our sovereignty to create a united Africa. Let us leave here having charged our ministers for foreign affairs to look into the possibility of one army.
So this the powers that be, what we're looking at unfolding.
One currency, one central bank. Let us live here united. And Nkrumah goes ahead to say, I am prepared to play another role, not that of a president of that new unit created as Africa. And he says, I even am suggesting the capital of Africa. I know that others may have other suggestions, but I'm suggesting that Bangui in Central Africa be that capital, is the most central. Of course, nobody listens to him. What we don't remember that at that time, two groups have emerged in Africa. There is what is called the Monrovia group, which says Africa should not unite immediately, should be slowly and gradual. And then there is the group called the Casablanca group, which says Africa should unite now. Ultimately, what we have is the Organization of African Unity, which was the victory of the Monrovia group. And why Nkrumah was saying we unite now is because he feared that the colonialists would come in a different form. And he says the colonialist does not change. He may wear different masks, but he's the very same. His DNA remains the same. And no sooner have countries regained independence than we begin to see the colonialists coming in different guises. But now they use other Africans. Fifth columnist.
Yeah, so anyway, my point was that Pan-Africanism and all that was born right there in Addis Ababa. That's why you're hearing that name so much. Everything that's being constructed and bringing forth, if you're listening with the right ears, you'll see it. Okay? So keep that in the back of your head, that name. Okay, let it permeate. Okay? You got anything on that, AJ? You good? Okay, here we go. This is our topic for discussion.
They've taken this video down 3 times. OR Tambo International Airport, a gray-haired couple stood in disbelief before the departure board. Their Air France flight to Paris, already half-boarded, suddenly flashed red canceled. In Lagos, passengers holding tickets to New York were told to disembark.
This happened yesterday.
And in Nairobi, 2 American cargo planes filled with electronics, rare earth minerals, and frozen produce sat stranded on the runway. What happened overnight? At precisely 2:13 a.m. Addis Ababa time, a sealed transmission raced across the continent. All U.S. and European aircraft, commercial or military, are banned from African skies until further notice. No press conference, no handshakes, just a quiet but thunderous decision. For decades, Africa's skies have been treated like open highways where foreign airlines and military cargo could pass without pause. But something shifted last night. The African Union, acting not as 54 separate nations, but as one voice, declared, our skies are not for free. Our sovereignty is no longer negotiable. Imagine the shock in Paris, Brussels, and Washington. Imagine the power of a single order that grounds fleets, halts shipments, and rattles global supply chains. This is more than a bureaucratic policy. It is a statement of independence written across the clouds. But here is the question we must all ask. Is Africa truly ready to hold this line? And what does this mean for nations like Burkina Faso under President Ibrahim Traoré, who has already redefined what sovereignty looks like on the ground? My friends, history is not written in textbooks first, it is written in the choices of the present. And today, Africa has chosen to reclaim not just its land and its gold, but its very skies. If you believe the world deserves to hear these stories, unfiltered, subscribe now. And if you feel Africa's skies belong first and foremost to Africans, please share this video because sovereignty is not a headline. It is a birthright. It began in silence. No televised speeches, no parade of officials. Just a coded signal sent from Addis Ababa at 2013 in the morning. By the time the African sun rose, the world's largest airlines had collided with a reality they had never imagined. Africa had shut its skies to America and Europe. At Johannesburg's O.R. Tambo International Airport, scenes of chaos spread like wildfire. Families heading to Paris for summer holidays stood stunned, watching as the departure board flashed, "Canceled." A French businessman clutched his briefcase, shaking his head in disbelief. In Lagos, passengers on a KLM flight to New York were already seated when the pilot came on the intercom with trembling words, "We have lost clearance to depart. Everyone must disembark." Murmurs of confusion turned to frustration as entire plane loads of travelers were led back into the terminal. And in Nairobi, the crisis carried a deeper edge. 2 U.S. cargo planes, their bellies loaded with rare earth minerals, electronics, and fresh produce destined for American supermarkets, sat frozen on the tarmac. Their engines had been switched off, their clearances revoked. One Kenyan worker described the scene as an air traffic earthquake, sudden, violent, and impossible to ignore. The official explanation from the African Union was brief security protocol upgrades. But those words were little more than a veil. Behind the curtain, insiders pointed to 2 mysterious flights that had slipped into African skies just days earlier, using newly integrated radar systems powered by Chinese Bado satellites and Russian GLONASS mapping the AU-tracked unidentified aircraft moving without permission. One flight darted across the Sahel dangerously close to AU military installations linked to the one. Ticket prices for regional carriers might drop if African airlines captured the market share once dominated by European giants. But cargo costs, at least in the short term, were likely to rise as logistics scrambled for alternatives. Governments faced pressure from their own citizens. Business owners complained of perishable goods rotting in grounded cargo holds. Exporters worried about contracts with partners in Europe. Yet, for many African leaders, the cost was worth the message Africa will no longer be a free corridor for foreign powers.
Okay. You hear anything about that, AJ? Okay, so with that being said, we're going to go to, I said I was going to read, I'm trying to line everything out. We only read 3 chapters in Numbers on Wednesday, so I'm trying to level it out. I'm going to read chapters 4 and 5. That way, when we get back around to Wednesday for reading through the Tanakh, we'll be at chapters 6 through 10. I'm going to read 4 and 5 in order to line everything back out. Okay, I'm in Numbers chapter 4, and it says this is the task of the Levites, right? So if it was me and I see that the task assigned to the Levites, I'm gonna perk up, right? Because we know the Levites was taken away out of the 12 tribes. The tribe of Levi was taken. The Lord took them to himself, right? So it says right in Numbers chapter 4, the task assigned to the Levites. This is what the Levites' role are, right? And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, take the sum of the sons of Korah from among the sons of Levi after their families by their house for their fathers, from 30 years old and upward, even until 50 years old, all that enter into the host to do the work in the tabernacle of the congregation. This shall be the service of the sons of Kohath in the tabernacle of the congregation about the most holy things. And when the camp set it forward, Aaron shall come and his sons, and they shall take down the covering veil, cover the ark of testimony with it, and shall put thereon the covering of the badger skins, and shall spread over it a cloth wholly of blue, and shall put it in the staves thereof. And upon the table of showbread they shall spread a cloth of blue, and put thereon the dishes and the spoons and the bowls and the covers of cover or withal, and the continual bread shall be thereon, and they shall spread upon them a cloth of scarlet, and cover the same with a covering of badger skins, and shall put it in the staves thereof. And they shall take a cloth of blue, and cover the candlestick of the light, and his lamps, and his tongues, and his snuff dishes, and all the oil vessels thereof, wherewith they minister unto it. And they shall put it and all the vessels thereof within the covering of the badger skins, and shall put it upon a bar, and upon the golden altar they shall spread a cloth of blue, and cover it with the covering of badger skins, and shall put to the stage thereof. And they shall take all the instruments of ministry wherewith they minister in the sanctuary, and put them in a cloth of blue, and cover them with a covering of badger skins, and shall put them on a bar. And they shall take away the ashes from the altar, and spread the purple cloth thereon. And they shall put upon it all the vessels thereof, wherewith they minister about it, even the censers, and the flesh hooks, and the shovels, and the basins, all the vessels of the altar. And they shall spread upon it a covering of badger skin, and put to the staves of it. And when Aaron and his sons have made an end of covering the sanctuary and all the vessels of the sanctuary, as the camp is to set forward, after that the sons of Kohath shall come to bear it, and they shall not touch any holy thing, lest they die. Of these things are the burden of the sons of Kirkuk in the tabernacle of the congregation, and to the office of Eleazar the son of Aaron the priest pertaineth the oil for the light, and the sweet incense, and the daily meat offerings, and the anointing oil, and the oversight of all the tabernacle, and of all that therein is in the sanctuary and in the vessels thereof. And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, Cut ye not off the tribe of the families of the Korhites from among the Levites, but thus do unto them that they may live and not die when they approach unto the most holy things. Aaron and his sons shall go in and appoint them every one to his service and to his burden, but they shall not go in to see when the holy things are covered, lest they die. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Take also the sum of the sons of Gershon throughout the houses of their fathers by their families, from 30 years old and upward until 50 years old, shall thou number them, all that enter in to perform the service, to do the work of the tabernacle of the congregation. This is the service of the families of the Gershonites, to the service for their burdens. And they shall bear the curtains of the tabernacle, and the tabernacle of the congregation, his coverings, and the coverings of the badger skins that is above and upon it, and the hangings of the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the hangings of the court, and the hangings for the door of the gate of the court, which is by the tabernacle, by the altar round about, and their cords, and all the instruments of their service, and all that is made for them, so shall they serve. At the appointment of Aaron and his sons shall be all the service of the sons of Gershites, in all their burdens, and in all their service ye shall appoint unto them in charge all their burdens. This is the service of the families of the sons of Gershon in the tabernacle of the congregation, and their charge shall be under the hands of Ithamar, the son of Aaron the priest. As for the sons of Merah, that thou shalt number them after their families by the house of their fathers, from 30 years old and upward until 50 years old shalt thou number them, every one that entereth into the service to do the work of the tabernacle of the congregation. And this is the charge of their burden according to their service in the tabernacle of the congregation, and the board of the tabernacle, and the boards thereof, and the pillars thereof, and the sockets thereof, and the pillars of the court round about, and their sockets, and their pins, and their cords, with all their instruments, and with all their service, and by name ye shall reckon the instruments of the charge of their burden. This is the service of the families of the sons of Merah, according to all the service in the tabernacle of the congregation under the hands of Ithamar, the son of Aaron the priest. And Moses and Aaron and the chief of the congregation numbered the sons of Kehat after the families and after their house of their fathers, from 30 years old and upward, even unto 50 years old, everyone that entered into the service for the work of the tabernacle of the congregation. And those that were numbered of them by their families were 2,750. These were they that were numbered of the families of Kohites, all that might do service in the tabernacle of the congregation, which Moses and Aaron did number according to the commandments of the Lord by the hand of Moses. And those that were numbered of the sons of Gershon throughout their families and by the house of their fathers, from 30 years old and upward, even unto 50 years old, everyone that entered into the service for the work of the tabernacle of the congregation, even those that were numbered of them throughout their families by the house of their fathers, were 2,630. These are they that were numbered of the families of the sons of Gershon, of all that might do service in the tabernacle of the congregation, whom Moses and Aaron did number according to the commandment of the Lord. And those that were numbered of the families of the sons of Merah throughout their families by the house of their fathers, from 30 years old and upward, or even until 50 years old, everyone that entered into the service for the work of the tabernacle of the congregation, even those that were numbered of them after their families were 3,200. These be that those that were numbered of the families of the sons of Merah, whom Moses and Aaron numbered according to the word of the Lord by the hand of Moses. All those that were numbered of the Levites, whom Moses and Aaron, the chief of Israel, numbered after their families and after the house of their fathers, from 30 years old and upward, even unto 50 years old, everyone that came to do the service of the ministry and the service of the burden in the tabernacle of the congregation, even those that were numbered of them were 800,540 or fourscore. According to the commandment of the Lord, they were numbered by the hand of Moses, everyone according to his service, according to his burden. Thus were they numbered of him as the Lord commanded Moses. Okay, so like I said before, I was trying to, line that out because we only had read, I think 3 chapters on Wednesday, so I was trying to get everything, level everything back off. Okay. So what you got, King Dave? AJ.
Give me 1 second, my brother.
Okay.
Oh, shalom, brother Leonard. You had asked a question. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying, did you know King David?
Oh yes, sir. I had invited him.
Oh, okay.
Right, yes, sir.
Yeah, you want to say something, bro? Introduce yourself or what?
Yes, I will. Thank you for having me, brother AJ. What's your name, my brother? I'm sorry.
Brother Leonard.
Shalom, brother Leonard.
Okay.
First of all, I'd like to give all praise and all glory to the Heavenly Father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, only and forever. Praise Yah.
Okay. So we non-Messianics, right?
And I praise the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. That this is a non-Messianic channel, right?
Yeah, of
Okay.
course.
All right.
Brother AJ is non-Messianic. I am too.
Okay.
We don't put nobody before, beside, or after the Most High Yah.
Okay.
I believe in keeping the Torah, and I also hearken on to the Tanakh as well, the testimonies and the writings of the prophets.
Okay. What about
Yeah.
you familiar with the Lord of Hosts?
Huh?
The Lord of Hosts. You know what that is?
Micaiah.
Okay. What's your take on that? You see that him being he's on the right
He's
hand
our
side.
He's our Redeemer, like the Most High
Right.
says.
Exactly. Okay. So
But
what's
he's
the
he. I would say that he is okay. When the Most High says he's the Redeemer, he's the
right?
Redeemer on behalf of the Most High. He does the Most High's bidding.
Right. Exactly. Right. So you familiar with Enoch, the book of Enoch?
Yeah.
Okay. So he got it's 7 angels. Michael was the first one, but he got 7 angels that do his bidding. That's Zechariah chapter 4, verse 10. The eyes of the Lord.
Right.
Right. And so we got Michael is the Lord of hosts. He's over the Most High's hosts. So
Right.
when you say uh, the Lord alone, he's not alone, because we see in Ezekiel 37, Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 1, the cloud. You familiar with the cloud in Ezekiel chapter 1?
The cloud.
Yeah, in Ezekiel chapter 1.
We
You
could
got your
we could
Bible right
read
there? You
we
got
could
your
read it.
Bible?
Yeah. We could read it.
Okay.
But when the Most High Yah says he's alone, it just means that he's the only one that's gonna get the glory and the praise, because he
Okay.
doesn't give his praise or glory to nobody.
Right. I can understand that. But
Yeah.
everybody don't know that, because they thinking that he's talking about he by himself. But like I was saying, Ezekiel chapter 1, did you got it, verse 4?
I'm pulling it up. Give me a second. I had my phone on charger charging, so
Right.
it was loading up.
Exactly.
1 second. Ezekiel chapter 1. This phone is so slow. Give me 1 second. Oh, you can read it if you got it.
Oh, well, let me get it.
That's just my Bible loading up. I'm on the app. I ain't got my book.
It says, I'm gonna start at verse 1. Go to it says, now it came to pass in the 13th year, in the 4th month, in the 5th day of the month, as I was among the captives by the river Kabar, that the heavens were open, and I saw a vision of God. So that's big. You saw a vision of God, right? In the 5th day of the month, which was 5th year of King Jehoiakim's captivity, the word of the Lord came expressly unto Ezekiel the prophet, the son of Buzi, in the land of the Chaldeans by the river Kabar, and the hand of the Lord was upon him. Then here go the verse I'm talking about. And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire enfolding itself, and the brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof, as the color of amber, out of the midst thereof fire. Then verse 5, also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures, and this was their appearance, and they had the likeness of a man. So he ain't by himself.
Right, exactly.
You got all these brothers hollering, y'all on. He ain't by himself. So at Mount Sinai, the same cloud came down on Mount Sinai, right? For 40 days and 40 nights.
Mm-hmm.
Well, these four beings was in there with him when the cloud came on Mount Sinai. These prophets, they go out of their way to explain things to you, and you have to take that with you when you go to other verses, other precepts. He's telling you
That's
right here
true.
in the cloud, there's four beings in the cloud with him. So when he came to Mount Sinai, set down on top of Mount Sinai, these four beings in the cloud with him.
Yeah, I understand that. Just like
Right,
when he was talking to the burning bush.
right, exactly.
Yeah, same concept.
Right. So that burning bush is not Yahweh, right?
Right. No, it's the angel of hosts.
Michael.
Right. Right.
Exactly. So
Right.
when he came down on top of Mount Sinai, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel, that's the four beings that was in the cloud
Right.
with him.
Yeah, because
Same four,
y'all don't leave his throne.
right. And the same four came down at the Tower of Babel.
Mm-hmm.
And in Genesis 26, let us make man. It's not the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. It's
That's
these
the
four beings.
Elohim.
Right, it's the Elohim, exactly.
I try to explain that to people that it was the Elohim in 1 and 26 when the
Right,
Most High said, "Let us create man
right,
in our image." I try to tell people that, but they think that this is the Most High. Okay,
right,
how can this be the Most High when they said let God said let us?
exactly. Right.
I know
And,
what you mean. This is
right.
this is this is more advanced. People's not, a lot of people they're just waking up out of
Right.
Christianity.
Exactly.
So this is a little ahead of the time.
Right. Yeah,
I
yeah.
should I say ahead of their understanding.
Right. So like I was saying, the reason why how this channel came into existence was it's a lonely walk to when the creator elevates you to this point. So you ain't
Right,
got it's not every day you got somebody to talk to about these
right,
things. So that's what
right.
this channel mainly what this channel was about.
Oh, that's
Right,
cool. That's cool because there's a lot of things that I keep to myself too because I know
right,
people ain't there yet.
right,
So like I don't want to, just how can I say it? Draw people away with a different
right,
understanding that they ain't used to hearing. I keep it basic.
right, right, right,
Yeah, I keep
right.
it real basic for them because we dealing with a stiff neck, hard headed, ignorant people.
Exactly.
You that just coming fresh out of Christianity, but they still got that Christian mindset.
Exactly. Right. Right. Right.
You know, so I feed them like a baby. When I talk to them, like you gotta speak to them like Google Gaga, like
Exactly.
simplify everything.
Oh yeah. Right. Exactly. Right. Right.
Mm-hmm. Cause they ain't gonna
Right.
understand. They won't understand this. It's too ahead of them.
Right. And then it get to the point where uh they're assuming that you thinking that you're in a certain place, but it's not that. It's just that what the creator has done.
Right.
He's elevated you to that point. It's not that you know everything or you know it all. It's just that he brought you to that point, to his understanding, because of this prophecy is being fulfilled. He said he was gonna
Mm-hmm.
come back, and he's in the last days. He's gonna set the scriptures out and find him, the Lord of
Right.
hosts, the God that's
Right.
over Israel. Right. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Now, when they
So
see, you see, people don't understand that when these angels, right, come and spoke to our prophets. Okay, these prophets ain't speaking their own words. They speaking the word of Yah. So it's like you speaking to Yah face to face and mouth to mouth.
right. Exactly.
Cause they
Right.
speaking through these angels. Yah
Right.
is speaking through these angels. So you speaking to Yah
Right. Right.
through the angel, through the host. But then when they
Right.
see Lord of Hosts, they automatically think that it's the Most High Yah.
Right.
Yes, it's
Exactly.
Yah speaking, but it's actually the angel. The Most High says he would speak to them in visions and dreams. How
Right.
did he? How did he send these angels in visions or in dreams?
Right. Exactly. Yeah, the prime example is what we just talked about
Exactly.
on Mount Horeb, when the angels appeared to Moses as a flame of fire, but Yah on his throne spoke through the angel to Moses.
Right.
And so the angels doing the same thing through the prophets. They're
Correct.
speaking through these prophets to Israel, to the people.
Let me ask you a question, Brother Leonard.
Okay.
How long have you been in this walk?
35 years, bro.
All praise to the Most High.
Yeah.
I got I say about 14, 15, around there.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, and like I said, it's not it ain't nothing that it's nothing to be lifted up about because it was all I was called out. As simple as that. It was above my pay grade. I wasn't trying to be read no scriptures and all that, but I was called out.
Same here. I was trying to explain to my coworker that I travel with to and fro from work. You know, she's stuck in Christianity. And I be trying to when I'm on a job, I speak to people. I try to reach out people. But some were here, some were for a beer, and I try to tell them that listen, this what we was taught. Yeah, it was cool and all, but when you come into the wisdom of the Most High Yah, you realize that you've been deceived, and it goes against what's truly righteous according to His laws, statutes, and commandments, not of what man taught us. Because if man taught us correctly, though in captivity, slavery, even on the plantations, okay, they wasn't supposed to beat us the way they do at all. They're supposed to set us free with pay, with with money that we earned.
Right.
But what did they do? They ain't set us free. They beat us, they tortured us and lynched us, fed our children to alligators to the death until chattel slavery was actually abolished by Abraham Lincoln. So they didn't keep Torah.
Right. Right. And that's another thing too. They we was talking earlier how it's not about feelings. You hear a lot of people say that how they feel in a certain type of way. It ain't got nothing to do with your feelings.
Right.
It's way above that. That's come on. It ain't got nothing to do with your feelings.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I say, a prime example is they telling you that most 90-some% of the Israelites, so-called awakened Israelites, they tell them don't read the book of Enoch. They don't read it. So why you feeling the same way? You feeling the same way? But look at all the information you're missing.
Right.
Damn how you feel about it. The book of Enoch is solid gold.
Right. See what they think is that when somebody say, "Oh, it's fake, it's not real," the masses run with that because they don't got the understanding.
Exactly.
But when you have the understanding that Yah spoke through angels, okay, so now you now you have to do your due diligence and search out the truth because they put truth and they put lies and everything.
Right. Exactly.
We got to see through it.
Right. Exactly. And that has to be part of your foundation. You gotta know you dealing with liars.
Exactly.
And forgers and from the beginning.
From the beginning.
It ain't just started 2 weeks ago, way back.
Right. In the garden.
Yeah, exactly.
In the garden. Yep. I did this when I first came on TikTok. My thing, wasn't to be, and it's still not, wasn't to be clicking up with people, and I don't. I associate with brothers like my brother AJ. I associate with him, people that's not clicked up.
Right,
You know, 'cause
exactly.
when
Yeah.
people click up, they twist scripture
Right,
and they pervert judgment.
right, exactly.
And that's not what I'm about. You know, I'm about sticking straight to the law, exactly how it's
Right,
written. You
exactly.
know, so I came on here with the understanding. First thing I was trying to teach is that, you know, because I got the understanding from the Most High that you know, it was two separate creations in the Garden of Eden. It wasn't just one man, one woman. If
Okay.
that's the case, how will the Most High sanctify His people if we all came from the same line of man?
Right, exactly.
There would be
Yeah,
no
yeah, yeah.
sanctifying.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm constantly telling people that when you go to Genesis chapter 10, the table of nations, they said Ham, Shem, and Japheth is Noah's son. That ain't true. Ham, Shem, and Japheth ain't none of his sons, because you familiar with what happened in the garden, right? Cain is not Adam's son, right?
Correct.
So you told him to get a male and a female. He said get a male and a female, all flesh, and put on the boat. So he got a male and a female from Cain descendants.
Exactly. The unclean.
Right. So
They survived the
Japhet,
flood.
right. So Japhet is not Noah's son. But they hiding him through the scriptures. They hid him in the scriptures by saying, matter of fact, that's what me and AJ was talking about earlier. That's where Japhet is going to dwell in tents of Shem. Right. So yeah, he's not. That's Cain descendants because before the flood, Cain had a son called Tubal, right?
Mm-hmm.
After the flood, Japhet got a son called Tubal.
Mm-hmm.
Who would name their son? Would you name one of your sons Tubal?
Nope.
Say, come on.
Nope.
Yeah, there
Basically
it is.
saying, Cain the second. Two.
That's
That's what I
exactly
got out of it. That's what I got out of it.
That's exactly what he's saying. But you
That's,
know what? People don't make it that simple. They cop attitude. Just like when in Daniel 9:25, they told us before you was born and before I was born, it was already established that Messiah in Daniel 9:25 is JC.
come on
But
now.
it's been shown to me it ain't JC. And I
Right.
can break it all the way down and show you it ain't JC. But
Mm-hmm.
they can't handle that. Their mind can't
Right.
handle it. Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because when I read those scriptures, then you also gotta you have to read these other books, man. That's why they tell you it's fake, so
Right.
you
Right.
won't waste your time. But you're not
Right.
wasting your time. You throwing away wisdom.
Exactly.
Because
And
Cain, you know, he looked like a animal according to
right.
Enoch.
Exactly. Right.
So
Exactly.
like that's a beast.
He was
The
deformed.
animal, right? He's deformed. He looked like a Denisovan or Neanderthal, something like that.
Exactly.
Like I
Right.
go into I know science play a little role in it. You know, that's why it's called Genesis.
Right.
It goes convert genetics.
Right.
You know, so you have to dab into science. So Eve, she was pregnant with twins from two separate fathers, and I believe the scientific terminology for that is hetero superfecundation.
Right. Exactly. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
They don't.
We can sum that up and say trickology.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, and you know what? The crazy part about this right here, 2025. You know, like I was saying, just 10 years ago, they may have been like 101 or 202, but now in 2025, with the way the Lord of Hosts is working and how the information is being dispersed and revealed, that's like 101 or oh 01 to know that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? To know that
Mm-hmm.
JC ain't real, that's oh 01.
Come on. Oh, one.
Yeah, that ain't nothing no more.
They still on that though. They
Yeah,
harping on
that's still
that.
on though, but it's oh 01. See?
Right. Right. Mm-hmm. See, I've been knowing that JC wasn't real. Well, see, here's the thing with me. Like, I grew up in like a Baptist set of religion when I was younger, but
Right.
that joint ain't stick with me, because my parents wasn't the type, to have me in church or themselves in church hardcore every Sunday. I
Right.
came from a broken household, you know what I'm saying? My mom and father was divorced,
Right.
and so it wasn't like my mom was always working. I'm in school,
Right.
so it wasn't like we had a strong spirituality in the first place to where we want to, always be around each other. Not saying you need that, but strong spirituality will have you together with your family. And that
Right.
only comes from the Most High.
Exactly.
So growing up, as I got into my teens, I never had a relationship to even call on the name of JC,
Exactly.
never
Right.
called him my savior, and I never knew him to be the son of God. I
Mm-hmm.
just used to, it was just popular, like you hear a popular song,
Right.
and you just know you heard it. You know what I'm saying? But it's not resonating with you. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? That didn't resonate with me. Because I
Exactly.
always used to see like how people getting treated. You know,
Right.
I always used to watch them slave movies. And things just didn't sit right with me. Wondering like, man, why they always reading this Bible talking about JC if they in slavery and nothing's happening.
Exactly.
No change. So, I was basically like a lost soul, just trying to
Right.
find my way.
Exactly. Right. Right.
So like as I got older, I met the Most High. Caused me to cross paths with my wife that I've been
Right.
with for about going on 16 years come
Right.
February. And we first met back in 2012. You know, she basically was opening my eyes because I did read the Old Testament scriptures from front to back, Genesis to Malachi. And did I
Okay.
understand everything? No.
Right.
All I understood that there was some character in the book named Israel. When I was in ignorance, I always thought that this Israel was the same Israel from back in Genesis. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That
I didn't
reference.
know I didn't know that it transferred over to descendants.
Right.
So
Exactly.
all I knew was that Israel was always in and out of trouble, going into slavery, worshiping idols. It didn't register with me when I was younger that this was a nation of people instead of just one individual man. So
Right. Right.
like,
You know where that. You know where else that's at. Right. You just mentioned that earlier. That it's two creations in the beginning. Right.
mm-hmm,
In the garden. That's the same thing. In the beginning, it's a man called it's a man called Adam. Adam, and it's a race of men called Adam. And
right,
so he
right,
and he did the same thing with Israel. It's a man called Israel, but it's a race of people called Israel.
right, exactly.
Right.
The human lineage, Adam, right?
Yeah.
Just like Noah, wasn't just the individual man,
Right.
and the sons wasn't just individual men; they was nations of people.
Exactly. Eventually.
Right, eventually, exactly. But the
Right.
way they wrote it, to make you seem like this is just individual people.
Right. Exactly.
So all you
Okay.
thinking is about a father named Noah with his three sons.
Right.
The
Right.
way they
Exactly.
wrote it, like.
Right.
But yeah, so once I came into the truth, man, the first thing that I gravitated to was who I was named after,
Okay.
which, which is David. My name is David,
Okay. Yeah,
and
I was going to ask you that how did you arrive at that? Oh, yeah. Okay.
my name is David, And I used to always believe that David was a YT name, because you just
Mm-hmm.
hear the YT man just steal our whole identity, and they wore it out to make you think that it's not yours anymore.
Right.
So my
Exactly.
wife used to tell me, you got a strong name. You got the name of the begotten son. So I was like,
Okay.
let me investigate this. You know, let me investigate this, because as growing up as a child, I was curious and learning new
Right.
things. As you get older, you get distracted.
Right.
So it's like, you know, if I would have rejected that at that time, like that means I didn't have no consideration for Yah when I look back at it.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
Right.
so
Yeah, that's the DNA.
right,
Right.
exactly. So I looked into it. I searched out the scriptures, who David was,
Right.
what David was about, who he worshipped,
Right.
and it's only the Almighty Yah. It was no one
Exactly.
else.
Exactly.
And after that, it was on like popcorn, bro. I ain't gonna
Okay.
hold it.
See that? I see. Okay.
Mhm.
She was in a camp or something? Or what?
Oh nah. I was never in a camp. Even though,
Oh, I'm talking about her. How she get how she get the knowledge when she was conveying it to you?
well, she have her own testimony, and her testimony was like, basically she cried out to the Most High, like,
Okay.
and my wife, love her to death, like I call her my prophetess. You know what I'm saying? Because she know, like
Okay.
she be getting these downloads, and
Okay.
you know they be coming to pass.
Okay.
They be even if they're about me. You know what I'm saying? The
Okay.
Most High is really working on this woman. You know,
Okay.
and if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be who I am today.
Okay.
If it wasn't for the Most High sending me her, so I praise the Most High. I glorify Him every day for
Okay.
sending me, my Eve. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's a good thing, bro.
Hmm. My
That's a good
virtuous
thing.
woman, Proverbs 31.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like I said, it's not that many people for a reason, because it's like I said, it's like what Abraham did. It's a place for wayfarers. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? It ain't for it ain't for anybody. It's about when, because the conversation, once the conversation start getting deep, you notice it's a lot of people, they're not ready for the conversation. So you
Right.
know, yeah.
And I appreciate being amongst you brothers, because when you try to explain this stuff to people, it's like, you trying to, increase their wisdom, knowledge, and
Yeah,
understanding.
exactly. Right.
Because the Most
They
High
continue.
told us, yes, yes. Because the Most High told us that in the latter days, knowledge should be increased.
Mm-hmm.
And we so, wanting this knowledge to get out there so people can, get the increasing of the wisdom of Yah. But you have those that are, un unwise
Right.
in the word of the Most High, because they're not seeking. They're just like, face reading. They don't
Right.
keep reading over and over and over, because every time you read something, something else gonna pop out to you. You
Exactly.
ain't
Right.
gonna get the whole download in one reading.
Right. That's what I was telling you. That's a sign when you're dealing with people, because you're not gonna find out who the Lord of Hosts is, and then 3 months later everything. It don't happen. It
Right,
ain't gonna happen. It ain't how it work. It ain't how it work.
right.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You see that, it's a dead cat on the line.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
The people love, they love to follow the multitudes of sinners. And
Right.
people don't know that by misinterpreting what the Most High says, you perverting His word.
Exactly. Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like I was saying, I'm adamant on that because of what he ain't dealing with me on. You ain't gonna hear me talking about it. But when he
Right,
dealing
right,
with me on, I'm gonna bring it to you.
right.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If you don't know it, leave it alone till you get it.
Yeah, exactly. Until you get it, you don't know nothing about it. You ain't gonna talk about it. And so, what so
Mm-hmm.
many people get offended at is a lot of shit that's been downloaded. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? So when you talk about it, I'm gonna break it down. And it's not
Mm-hmm.
that I know everything. It's just that as long as you've been dealing with me.
Right. Now let me
Mhm.
ask you this. According to a download I had got a while back.
Okay.
Okay. When we read Genesis 1:26, that us, right?
Yeah.
Now we know that's the Elohim,
Okay.
right? But the Most High also calls us Elohim. But we should be unalive like men,
Okay.
right?
Right.
Now, the Most High also told us in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 1, that He knew us before we was conceived in our mother's womb,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So, would you say that? Would you say Adam, the Most High, knew Adam before He brought him to Earth?
Yeah. Yeah. So when you rightly divide that, he's talking about the soul.
Right,
Right. If a soul didn't have a flesh body, you couldn't see it.
right,
So he created it when he formed the body on the ground, and he was laying there, but was no life in it. Then he put the soul in it.
right.
So that the flesh is to identify the soul.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he can do. People can't understand when you go into understanding what Ezekiel 37 is talking about. He's already promised our forefathers he was going to resurrect them.
Mm-hmm.
So when you read that, he's telling you how you're gonna do it. He told Abraham, you're gonna die and sin and go to where your father's at, right? So
Mm-hmm.
in 37, he bring those souls back. He regenerate those bodies, those bones he talking about, because he said he reverse osmosis. He put the flesh back on them and he built that same body back up, put that spirit back in them. Then he says, this the whole house of Israel, they standing on their feet. So, but he put the soul back into that body. So when he said, I knew Jeremiah before he came to the earth, it's the soul. The soul came from heaven and he put it in the
Right,
body. Yeah, that's what
right.
that is. Yeah,
Okay, so good. All right, so far, when we say that, right now, we know that the Most High word is forever and it doesn't end.
right.
So, could we, without saying that we are adding, but to use wisdom, right? Because we know there was wisdom extracted from the word of Yah and put in this Bible. It was extracted, right?
Right.
So, if we apply this, because we are Yah's people, okay? If we
Right.
apply it to us in this day, before we was born, the Most High knew us in spirit, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so if He knew us in spirit, right,
Mm-hmm.
and we go back to Genesis 1:26, when the Most High said, "Let us make man in our image." Could this be the spirits came that eventually came to Earth?
Talking about the 200 angels?
Huh?
The 200 angels you talking about?
Not
Oh,
the not the ones that actually created man, but
okay.
we know that there was other you had the other angels that was lower than the archangels and the higher angels, right?
Right.
You also had the angels that praise Yahweh.
Right. Exactly.
That wasn't the high tier angels.
Right.
So could we is it safe to say, because this is just the understanding I got from the Most High. I'm not
Okay.
saying this right, but this was just what he put on my spirit, that we always dwelt with him before we even came to flesh, according to those
Right.
precepts.
Okay.
Could it be that, before we transcended into, our mother's womb, could it be that we was also up there with him in spirit?
Right. That's way back in the day. I dealt with that. I was dealing with that, but then over the years, looking at how his creation, then I didn't deal with that.
Okay. Not saying that we are that man, that male and female. No. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because we didn't human the human man, or should I say the human species of man, didn't come into existence until Genesis 2, right?
Okay.
So we know that male and female was not Adam and Eve,
Right.
because Adam and Eve was formed separately from one another,
Right.
and that male and female was created,
Right. Spoken into existence.
spoken into existence together.
Right.
So that can't be Adam and Eve.
Right. That's Ham.
Yep.
Right. That's Ham. That's why I
Hmm.
say when you go to Genesis chapter 10, they
Hmm.
didn't make Japhet Cain's descendants. They didn't put him, and they didn't put Ham amongst Adam's descendants.
Mm-hmm. That was an African.
Right. The African. That's
Mm-hmm.
what. And that's playing out on us to the very day, because
Mm-hmm.
we fled Israel, went into Africa, and then the curses in Deuteronomy 28 caught up with us, and to this very day they calling us African, but we not African.
African. Yep.
Right. That's
King.
still playing out today.
Mm-hmm. If you look at Afrikaans or African,
Right.
you could literally see Cain in there.
Exactly. Right.
You know they
And
do the
see,
word play.
right.
Canaan.
Yeah.
Cain.
And
Mm-hmm.
you can see that we both men of color, but you can tell the difference in an African and an Israelite.
Exactly.
Once you get to a certain awareness and understanding, it's like night and day. You can see the difference.
Right.
And
Man.
even Mesarine, Ham got 4 sons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mesarine, them giants.
It was Mizraim.
That's giants.
Yep.
Right, them giants.
They be tall too.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's a race of giants. That's why he says, my people, Adam's descendants, the people that descended from Adam, oftentimes went to Egypt, which is Egypt and Mesrine is the same name,
Same
same people.
thing.
So my
Mm-hmm.
people oftentimes went into Egypt, and the giants oppressed them. When you understand what's going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
Like that's all.
Tall, mighty men.
Oh yeah.
Because if you look at that continent, before they split it up and named it what they named it, it was all one landmass, and all
Right.
these people dwelt there.
Exactly. Right.
So they all the same people, just different tribes.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Some was in the caves.
Right.
Some was in the wilderness.
Right. Yeah,
Some was
and
more civilized than others.
another thing another thing about that though is to look at what was simplify everything is, like you was just saying, uh Jacob wrestled with the Lord of hosts, right? And he changed his name to Israel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Israel had 12 sons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Each one of them sons, that's a different nation,
Right.
right? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
well the 200 angels came down. That's 200 nations.
Mm-hmm.
That's what nobody ain't factoring in. That's why Africa the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that something?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're dealing with to this very day when they talk about royalty. It's them people that ascended from those 200 angels. Each one of them got their own lineage.
The fallen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you see examples of it in Deuteronomy chapter 2 when the Israelites came out of Egypt. Them all giants, all them different races of giants. Where did they come from? Those 200
Right.
angels.
Mm-hmm. The Nephilim.
Yeah, and that's
Descendants
what
of the
we dealing with
Nephilim.
today. Right. That's what we're dealing with today. What David keep on talking about, that they in behind him. The spirit of those giants in behind him, oppressing him.
And Goliath was what? What was Goliath?
The giant.
A giant. Come on now.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And you look over there in that country, man, you got different types of them too, and they be tall.
Oh yeah, exactly. You're right.
Man,
Exactly.
I seen some ancient photos, bro. I seen some ancient photos. Man, these people, these they're not even people, man.
No,
They
no.
they
That's the
beast,
part.
they beast,
Yeah, they
right?
beast. Right.
They
And
beast.
that's what I was saying about we've been programmed, and we read the scriptures with a programmed mind. You're not reading it for what it's saying. Based on what you just said, he telling us those 33 giants that was with David, right?
Mm-hmm.
The mighty men. He said he described them. He said they lion like. Come on, they ain't read. You're not reading what he's telling you. Then he says he killed 800 men at one time. Come on, man. You ain't dealing with no regular. Ain't no regular man. They ain't even a beast. He above a beast.
Right.
He killed 800 men at one time. Hey, come on, man. And the only reason they subject to David because the Most High got his spirit on them. That's why he brought so much drama in David's house, because he had put that spirit, his spirit on them giants and made them subject to David, and then David disrespected Uriah. That's why drama was in David's house. If there wasn't no regular men, and then you can't talk to them. Shit, you can't talk to them. Hey, these beasts. They ain't trying to hear when they get angry. You can't calm them down. You got to be the Most High. Got to be involved in it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Come on. And they ain't getting none of that. That's going over everybody's head. Benaiah. Come on, that wasn't no regular dude. You see him somewhere in the woods, you haul ass.
Right. like what would you do with a like even somebody like Shaq, if Shaq had the continents of these Canaanites back in the day, Shaq would be a problem. That would be a problem. Now there was giants bigger than them.
Right.
Mark, thinking about you got to think about Mark Henry now.
Right, and he peanuts. Shaq
and
peanuts.
even bigger than him. But yeah, even Mark Henry, like that's any of them dudes, seven foot and up, that's a problem. That would be a very huge problem if they was after you in thinking about David's life. It makes sense why he was the Messiah, because they was after him every day.
Yeah, exactly. Like another thing people don't understand. See, it ain't like today, but these people they violent and they feed into the violence. That's what I'm saying about when you do something and you make them feel a certain type of way, and then they can't let that go. So ain't nobody gonna be standing there talking about, oh, calm down, bro. Remember what this and that.
No.
They gone. You got to get the hell out of the way.
Right.
And that's something. And nobody ain't factoring that in. And so the only thing that could have regulated that was the Lord of Hosts.
That's right.
That's what it's called, mighty men of valor. They wasn't taking no crap.
No,
None.
they weren't taking no care. But they were subject to David.
Right.
Come on. Oh yeah.
Because I look at them with having that attitude of, if you remember, excuse me, if you remember 300, when
Right.
you know, when they knew they were defeated, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? But you know, live by the sword, die by the sword. They have the infinity for death as well.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So,
Right.
you know, some when them arrows went up and everything at the same time, it was also like, you know, they was cool with that because it's like
Right.
honorable, you know what I'm
Right.
saying,
Mm-hmm.
dying in battle.
Right.
Right.
That's what made them so courageous, because they didn't fear death.
Right.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying? They made them courageous,
Mm-hmm.
but that's animalistic.
Yes. Right.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Mhm.
And ain't grasping that. So that ain't come from the creator. Like I said, you think he told them to be fruitful and multiply? No, he ain't telling them to be fruitful and multiply. He told the man that he created, the man he created on the sixth day, he told him to be fruitful and multiply, and he told
Mm-hmm.
Adam to be fruitful and multiply.
Right.
He didn't tell Cain and none of them other nut buckets to be fruitful and multiply,
Right.
because he got a problem with them.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
They took it upon themselves. They
right,
started they started, mixing amongst themselves.
right,
Like inbreeding, because Cain, he took a wife of the 6th day man, his father, from his father.
right.
Right.
He went into one of them things, so that's basically more inbreeding. So how you expect them things to come out? You know what I'm
Oh
saying? Come out
yeah,
looking
exactly.
crazy. That's why
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
looking crazy, like real beasts, man.
oh yeah, exactly,
That's why the Most High, and then the sons of God started going in, laying with the daughters of men. What men? Cain's lineage.
exactly,
Right.
So now they looking more freakish.
exactly. That's why I was telling people that when he said that the daughters of men, he talking about Cain descendants.
Right.
Exactly. They ain't but all that was when you understand who they use when they concocted the Septuagint and the King James.
Mhm.
They use literary geniuses. They knew just how to word the shit to throw you off.
Right. Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's only the
That's
spirit of.
yeah, right.
I'm
You
sorry.
got
I got.
you gotta be able to write and divide all that, because you get tricked
Yes.
off. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you get over here in the beginning, there's a foundation. You got to keep that foundation all the way
Gotta
through
keep
there.
that. That's true.
Because
Mm-hmm.
you don't keep that foundation, you're gonna get sideballed.
Right. Because the Most High always called them beasts.
Right,
And I used to always wonder why is the Most High calling these nations beasts?
right,
East.
Right? So
exactly,
I had to go back to the beginning.
exactly,
The beasts of the field, these
right,
uncivilized creatures.
exactly. Oh yeah.
People
Foolishness.
and people
And two out the water, out in the sea, when the flood came, he says that
Mhm.
he destroyed everything on dry land,
Right.
Right.
not in the sea. And
Mm-hmm.
all you see in all these cultures, some beast or some being came out to sea and
Yep.
gave them understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ain't that something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Especially,
yeah. You and AJ got phone numbers and stuff, man.
nah. We just communicate off of TikTok.
Yeah, I got another channel for it's called Non-Masonic Conversations, and it's for just this type of stuff. So when I decide to construct to have a conversation like this, I have it on that conversation. So I mean, if you're interested in, you know, coming on that dialogue and we just chopping up like we're doing now, because
Oh yeah.
you never know who gonna hear this type of stuff, bro.
Right, yeah, right.
So
I'm
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 trying to build
always
that channel up and build up the people.
definitely,
Yeah. So
definitely.
uh
But it's
so
gonna be very. I already know right now it's gonna be very few because
oh yeah. I
people.
ain't looking for a whole bunch of folks. As a matter of
People
fact,
are.
I'm just looking for to have the conversation and let the video do the rest. Right.
Most High said, you know, he has secrets. People don't believe that y'all have secrets.
Right. Exactly.
You know, and these things are going to be revealed in the latter days, like he said.
Exactly.
You
Oh
know,
yeah. Exactly.
that's why I always went back to Deuteronomy 29:29. You know, where the Most High said, the secret things that belong unto Yahweh, he reveals unto us
Right.
and his children forever, as long
Mhm.
as we keep the commandments.
Right.
And then when you
Right.
read Proverbs chapter 1, and I believe it's verse 7, the Most High also says that, you know, let me go to it instead of just paraphrasing, because I can't be paraphrasing the word of Yah.
Exactly.
I got the scriptures right in front of me. I always put these two together, and they hit so hard
Right.
because people believe that, oh, the Most High doesn't speak in secret. That's some
Right.
New Testament stuff, but if that's some New Testament stuff, that means the New Testament stole it from the
Yeah.
Most High.
Yeah. The New Testament stole it from Enoch. Enoch spoke
Right,
it. Enoch spoke it back.
Right.
Okay, that's where he got it from.
like
Yeah.
come on now.
Right.
I'm gonna read Deuteronomy 29:29 first.
Okay.
Okay, and it reads, and the Most High okay, here you go. The secret things belong unto Yah, our Eloah, but those things which are revealed belong unto us and to our children forever, that we may do all the words of this law. So, as long as you keeping the commandments, you keeping his laws, he's gonna
Right.
reveal his secret things to you.
Exactly. Right. Right.
Short and simple. Short and simple. Because he has secrets that he reveals, like he revealed it unto his servants, the prophets. That's in
Exactly.
Amos
Right.
3 and 7.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But
And to add to that too, from my experiences, like I said, when all this first started happening, I wasn't so those things. Like I say, I got this thing about thinking like a Hebrew. They got us. We Hebrews, but we're not thinking like Hebrews. We like fish.
right.
We like fish out of the water. So I got to
Mhm.
after things dots started being connected, I realized that it was on the Shabbat when knowledge was increased.
Mm-hmm.
You know
That's
what I'm
a set of
saying?
Yep.
That's when I realized
That's
I peep game on that. Oh
that's
yeah,
true.
right,
That's true.
Mhm.
Now here's Proverbs 1:5-6.
right,
Okay. A wise man will hear and will increase learning. Keyword increase.
right,
And a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel. The one that the counselors are the ones with the wisdom to help you get to that increasing in your learning of
right.
understanding,
Exactly.
right? To
Yeah,
understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise, which is the Most High, the words of wisdom, and their dark sayings. The words, what's the dark saying? The secret things
right,
that's coded in that's in metaphors.
right.
So how are we supposed to just stay stagnant and believe in what we read literally face value for what it say when the Most High constantly says he has secrets and he has
Right,
dark sayings,
right,
and the only way to get that is attain to wise counsel.
exactly,
That's the precepts,
right,
right? That we
exactly,
get in the Tanakh.
exactly. And then he keeping his command.
Right, and keeping his commandments, number one, because you ain't
Right,
getting nothing if you ain't doing them.
right. If you ain't doing them, it's levels to it. Like I was telling, it's certain levels to it. And then it's when you understand that it's a big ass difference than a Levite
Mm,
than other 11 tribes. That's big
right.
ass. People don't understand that.
Mm-hmm. It was holy unto Yah.
Right. It was holy unto Yah, right. And then,
Mhm.
then don't even start talking about, I was talking to AJ about that, the sons of David.
Right.
He got a covenant with David that he's gonna always keep seeds, David's sons on the earth to this day. David got
Yep.
on earth.
Yep.
That's a whole nother, like I said, that's a whole nother above your pay grade.
Man, come on. But
You just gotta wait on him for that. See
come
what I'm
on now.
saying? Come on
Yep.
now.
But they
Yeah.
take it for face value. Oh, David is coming back. No, it ain't gonna be the same as that David.
Right.
But we could see that through the Tanakh though, that it was never David. It was always a descendant of David that sat on that throne. It's gonna be the same thing, just picking off from where we left off.
Right, exactly. When we come back, we regather.
Right. It's going back to the same blueprint of Yah.
Right.
But they think it's gonna be something else, man. I don't know how they. It's crazy, you know, and they, you know, people they like I said, they follow the multitude of those that sound good and give a good show.
Right.
You know, and I can't, you know, congregate myself with people like that not too much, you know,
Right, exactly. Right.
because you know you above that, you past that.
Right, exactly.
You know, like it was on a Shabbat. I'm glad you brought that up about the wisdom is always increased on the Shabbat, because I do have a testimony. Like I was always seeking, you know, this Messiah, who the Most High says his Messiah is, right? Because I read in Samuel, First Samuel, I believe is 7 and 12, where the Most High said David days are fulfilled.
Right.
Okay, so if his days are fulfilled, he ain't the Messiah. And first of all, he couldn't build a temple because he had too much blood on his hands.
Right. Exactly.
So we know that, okay, it went through his descendant, and the first one to build a temple that was already ordered by David for him to do it was King Solomon.
Right.
That decree was already laid by David that Solomon is going to do it. And he did do it, but it got destroyed after the nation, after the, you know, the, what's the name? Was it the Grecians? The Grecians?
Nebuchadnezzar, the Chaldeans.
Right, the Chaldeans, right.
Right.
That's when, you know, things was shut down and destroyed and desecrated. And, you know, it had to come another descendant of David to rebuild his throne.
Yeah, Zerubbabel.
Zerubbabel. Right. He was the governor, but even though he couldn't sit on that throne, the Most High made a signet ring with him, which was a covenant, right?
Mm-hmm.
That he will, by his hands, build a temple, along with Joshua's son of Josedek and the other men.
Right. Yeah. We're gonna like I said, we gotta figure out a day, AJ, and then go on non-Messianic conversation, because I got a lot of stuff. To talk about on that one, bro. It's a whole, you gotta go way in the paint on that one.
Right. It's deep. And this is where me and my wife is at right now, because we know that, you know,
Chop that up, bro.
them crowns were set up for a later time.
Right. You got
right.
It's a lot with that going on with that one. A matter of fact, Psalm we get in the meantime, you can read Psalms 132. Read that.
Right.
Because it explains how they work, how they go. But you gonna get his number and everything, AJ?
Yeah, yes, sir. We in contact.
Yeah. We're gonna then we'll be able to chop it up or try to set it for Sunday sometime. We can chop, go in and just bring some topics up, talk about some topics, because there's a lot of things people need to hear, and then just get established right from there, and then we'll just pick the days out that we want to converse.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'll read Psalms 132 now.
Oh, go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, what verse should I start at?
You got to start it. The whole thing is a journey, bro. So the
Okay,
whole, yeah, go ahead.
okay. Yah, remember David and all his afflictions, how he sware unto Yah and vowed unto the mighty Eloah of Jacob. Surely I would not come into the tabernacle of my house, nor go up into my bed. I would not give sleep to my eyes, or slumber to my eyelids, until I find out a place for Yah, and habitation for the mighty Eloah of Jacob. Lo, we heard of it at Ephratah. We found it in the fields of the wood. We will go into his tabernacle. We will worship at his footstool. Arise, O Yah, into thy rest, thou and the ark of thy strength. Let thy priests be clothed with righteousness, and let thy saints shout for joy. For thy servant David's sake, turn not away the face of thine anointed. Yah has sworn in truth unto David, he will not turn from it. Of the fruit of thy body will I set upon thy throne.
So right there, what you just said,
Mm-hmm.
right, what
Mm-hmm.
you right there, but it's more to it than that. So the seeds, all the first, second Chronicles, first, second Kings, are all those seeds of David,
Mm-hmm.
right? They
Mm-hmm.
preserving David's throne. Now keep reading. He went out, man. He must have had a call or something.
So at verse 12, it says, if thy children will keep my covenant and my testimony that I shall teach them, their children shall also sit up on thy throne forevermore. For the Lord hath chosen Zion, he hath desired it for his habitation. This is my rest forever. Here I will dwell, for I have desired it. I will abundantly bless her provision. I will satisfy her poor with bread. I will also clothe her priests with
My
salvation.
bad.
It's all good.
I hit my hand. My bad, yeah. I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
getting excited. I just hit the button by accident.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Where you was at? Where you was at? What verse you was at?
We was at 12.
Yes. Now, so what you were saying is that's what is going on. He's keeping a son on the throne out of David lineage to preserve the throne. Now, this the other part of that. What the Lord of hosts is doing with David right here from 12
Okay.
to the key. Read it.
Okay. If thy children will keep my covenant and my testimony that I shall teach them, their children shall also sit upon thy throne forevermore. For Yah has chosen Zion, he has desired it for his habitation. This is my rest forever. He will, here will I dwell, for I have desired it. I would abundantly bless her provisions. I will satisfy her poor with bread. I will also clothe her priests with salvation, and her saints shall shout aloud for joy. There will I make the horn of David to bud. I have ordained a lamp for my anointed. His
Who is
enemies,
that? Lamp. What are you talking about?
he has ordained a lamp for
Soul.
my anointed.
Soul. Soul. What me and
Said,
you just talking about. The soul. When
oh,
Adam
he
was
has
on.
ordained, right, okay.
So he's gonna bring in Ezekiel 37. Before he do Ezekiel 37, he's gonna resurrect David. So
Mm-hmm.
what we looking at is he got to see the David holding down David's throne until he bring David back. Keep reading.
Okay. Oh, his enemies will I clothe with shame, but upon himself shall
See
his
that?
crown flourish.
Back on, he's gonna put David back on his own throne. And so you say, where the precept at? Ezekiel 37, verse 24, 25. Can you read that?
Mm-hmm. That's one of the fire ones. You want me to start at what, 20?
23. 23.
23. Okay. I was just reading that the other day.
Right.
Okay, here we go. Neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions, but I will save them out of all their dwelling places wherein they have sinned, and will cleanse them. So shall they be my people, and I will be their Lord. And David, my servant, shall be king over them, and they shall all have one shepherd. They shall also walk in my judgments and observe my statutes and do them. And they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob, my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt. And they shall dwell therein, even they and their children's children forever. And my servant David shall be their prince forever.
So there it is. What you just read in 132. He's gonna bring David back on his throne. His sons, David's seed line, is holding down David's throne to the end. That's the promise he got with David. He's gonna put him back on his own throne. And then once you understand that, you start seeing it all over there. Isaiah 66, verse 5. It's all over the place. He's gonna resurrect David. Even I think I can't remember exactly what it was, but he says he's gonna raise up the ruins of David.
Oh, that's Amos 9:11.
Right. That's what that's what that's about. He promised David he's gonna resurrect him. So matter of fact, can you read Isaiah 66?
Yeah.
Start at verse 5.
Okay.
Because it's talking about Ezekiel 37, the resurrection. That he's gonna resurrect our forefathers. That was a promise he gave our forefathers, not us. But go ahead.
Right. Isaiah 66, verse 5. Hear the word of Yah, ye that tremble at his word, your brethren that hateth you, that has cast you out for your name's sake, for my name's sake, said, let Yah be glorified, but he shall appear to your joy, and they shall be ashamed. A voice of noise from the city, a voice from the temple, a voice from Yah that rendeth recompense, recompense, his enemies, to his enemies. Before she travailed, she brought forth. Before her pain came, she was delivered of a man child. Who has, yep,
Keep going.
who has heard such a thing? Who has seen such things? Shall the earth be made to bring forth in one day, or shall a nation be born at once?
That's Ezekiel 37. Keep going.
Shall a nation be born at once? For as soon as Zion travailed, she brought forth her children. Shall I bring to the birth, and not cause to bring forth, says Yah. Shall I cause to bring forth, and shut the womb, says thy Lord. Rejoice ye with Jerusalem, and be glad with her. All ye that love her, rejoice for joy with her, all ye that mourn for her, that ye may suck and be satisfied with the breast of her consolations, that ye may milk out and be delighted with the abundance of her glory.
That's all of them. Ezekiel, Jeremiah, all of them standing there. That's what he's talking about. But before you get, he's gonna bring forth David. That's what that is. Yeah. So that's the other part of that. Those boys he keeping the seed. He got a promise to David. He's gonna keep a seed out of his lineage on his throne to preserve it till what he do in the last days when he bring David back.
So when we go, so now since he spoke of Jeremiah, when we go to Jeremiah 23, and it says, starting at verse 5, behold, the days come, says Yah, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. In his days Yehudah shall be saved, and Yasharel shall dwell safely. And this is the name whereby he shall be called the Lord our righteousness, or Yah our righteousness.
Yeah, that's Zerubbabel.
That's the Zerubbabel.
That's the Zerubbabel. So you say, what you talking about? Go to Haggai chapter 2. This is a golden nugget, boss. Go to Haggai chapter 2.
Because Zerubbabel was the one sown in Babylon. That's what his name means.
Right.
Sown in Babylon. Yep.
Yeah.
That goes along with also with Isaiah 11.
Right. Exactly. Right. Right. But at the very end, he's gonna put David on the throne.
Okay.
The promise he got to David, and the promise he got to our forefathers that they was going to judge the earth. What Ezekiel 37 is about. That's why he says in verse 11, this the whole house of Israel, an exceedingly great army. Right. Yeah. Like I say, we're gonna sit there. We're gonna set a time for Sunday, man. We can go in on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll set it up, and I'll make sure everybody got the information.
Okay, so we're going to Haggai.
Right. Yeah. I'm flabbergasted to meet you, bro.
Oh man, pleasure is all the Most High's.
Right. Yes.
It's all yours.
You got somebody else, other guys that you know that like-minded. You know, you can invite them into that, man. My objective is just to chop it up, man. Bring out this information and then just let it go out there and YouTube world and people that need to hear it here.
Man, I thought I did, but you know, like everybody got their own separate journey.
Right.
You know, so like I don't try to, you know, have people following me. You know?
No, it's not. I mean, it's about just delivering the information. You know what I'm saying? Let it go where it go. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, not on TikTok because people, you know, they all clicked up.
No. I got a YouTube channel.
We gonna do it on here. We gonna do it on here.
No, I don't do it on TikTok. I don't mess with TikTok. It's on. I got a YouTube channel called. I got another channel that we just go on every now and then. It's called Non-Messianic Conversations.
Right.
And so we just chop it up, and then you know it's gonna post on its own, and then the algorithm just put it out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
If I'm gonna come, it just be me. Honestly.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's cool.
It just be me.
This was good right here. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like I said, I was glad to meet you, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad to meet you too, my brother. Thank you, AJ. I used to always hear you when I was in AJ's lives. I would hear you.
Right.
I would hear you, and I'm like, man, he dropping some jewels.
Okay.
Right.
I'm like, man.
Okay.
Like the suffering servant. When you went over that, I'm like, yeah. And then you went into the numbers. Is the high priest because they bore the sins of Israel.
Exactly.
Because they was the ones that made the sacrifices.
Exactly.
So I used to tell people that because you got people that would try to make it seem like, okay, it's talking about one individual person.
Right. Exactly. But
they say Jeremiah, they say Ezekiel. I'm like, y'all not wrong, but y'all ain't looking at the big picture as a whole.
Exactly.
You're not wrong.
It go back to what we was just talking about. It's a man called Adam, and it's a race of people called Adam. It's a man called Israel. It's a race of people called Israel. And that's when he say his son. That's what Hosea chapter 11 tell you. My son was in Egypt,
right?
The nation of Israel, and I called my son out of Egypt. Yeah, right. Ain't that song?
Yep.
Yeah.
Man.
But we're gonna chop it up. We're gonna chop it up, boss.
Sure will. AJ, you just keep me linked up, bro, whenever y'all go.
For sure. You already know.
Yeah, I work during the days, so like
same.
I'll be available probably after 6.
All right, for sure. That's perfect. That's perfect.
Okay. Yeah. Give my number too, man. Because if you want to chop it up, bro, you come across something you want to chop it up, that's what I do.
I'll send it tonight. I got you.
Okay.
All right, bet.
Yeah.
All right, shalom.
Shalom,
Shalom, my
man.
brothers. All praise to the
Okay.
Most High.
Yeah.
All praises.